I think that, the practice as an artist is a culmination of time and experience in the realm of what it means to be amongst your community as a ground, as the soil, no, like the richness of the soil, uh, to then um, help you structure together ideas, no, ideas in relation to thinking, to trauma, trauma not necessarily as a negative thing, but also um, as a kind of firm ground of resistance. I think that's where the practice is born, or what that practice was. Those people, who I treasure very much, kind of led the way to a kind of courageous um, assault into what culture could be. The canvases, they have been part of my practice for over a decade now. These are also architecture of people and time, meaning the construction, how does architecture happen? And who are the bodies behind this? That, you know, became true around the Venice Biennale in 2015 with Oki and Wenzor, when I was invited to intervene the facade of the Giardini. And then, of course, the production of this proposal and this presentation was really about people, and the importance of people in the process of making this work, and how that then stayed as an idea, how that wasn't just about the challenge of making this work for the Biennale at the time, but then how that challenge transformed itself into this ongoing, body of work, which then, in the context of the show, is evident in the conversation that Rene and I, have been on continuing. So Frequencies, it's a project that started in 2013. It started with thinking about the history of mark making, or the history of communication from a human perspective. Also questioning myself and my motive as an artist. And then, of course, I was clear that drawing was the purest form of communication. I think skeptical is the right word, of not trusting myself, that I had the tools to do this. And then I thought that society was more apt, and the society, so then I spent 10 years working with society in different parts of the world. All this material over the years becomes basically feedback, almost like creating a library, where you can write. Once you have the library, you can read, you can make your own articles, essays, paragraphs. And one of the things that these paintings, the telegram painting that opens up the show, is as if, again, this message, almost like a dream, like I wrote that message myself when I was that age. And I think it's a message to the now, they're a little bit like windows or vessels of time. The failure of time in relation to an aesthetic process, in relation to my work, the desire to reconcile that into a formality conclusion, like also feed it back to this idea of labor, the kind of tediousness of sewing, together a square. And then also just thinking about, I think it has a lot to do, and then, the black has a kind of consistent structure, so like an aesthetic structure in a way. The outcome or the conclusion, or perhaps not the conclusion, but the kind of findings of of this back and forth, it's here, you know, for the audience to see, for the audience to navigate and to read and to feel. I think that's probably the most honest thing I can say, you know. Yeah, I want to just thank VHV for the trust, my studio, who you know, worked incredibly hard in producing this show. Couldn't have not been possible with Rene, of course. Thank you, Rene.